A very good afternoon to you, dear viewers. You're watching Night TV International, Egypt's voice to the whole world. This is Reem Tamer welcoming you into this special edition as we're following up all the latest updates regarding the rising tensions in the region, especially in Iran and also Israel. As we are always keen that you're the first to know, we have the latest updates today as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Immigration, Abdel, emphasized the importance of concerted regional and international efforts to de-escalate the situation in the region and avoid expanding the conflict. Abdel comments came during a phone call with the French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot and the British National Advisor Jonathan Powell on Wednesday. They exchanged their views and assessments regarding the rapid developments in the region. The calls came in line with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi directives to intensify communications to de-escalate military confrontations between Iran and Israel. Minister Abdel also highlighted the catastrophic situation in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. He reiterated the need to exert all efforts to resume the ceasefire, reviewing the role played by Egypt, Qatar and the United States in this regard. As for Iran, hits a hospital in southern Israel in a barrage of dozens of Iranian missiles on Thursday, while another impact was reported by emergency services in the Tel Aviv area. A direct hit has been reported at Soroka Hospital in Beersheba, southern Israel. More details to follow. The Israeli Foreign Minister posted on X. A spokesperson for the hospital reported damage to the hospital and extensive damage in various areas. We are currently assessing the damage, including injuries. We ask the public not to come to the hospital at this time, as well as serving populations in southern Israel. Soroka Hospital is known to treat soldiers wounded in Gaza. Sirens sounded across Israel early on Thursday as the Israeli military said it detected incoming missiles from Iran. An area near the heavy water research reactor in Khundab, part of Iran's nuclear program, was hit on Thursday. The Iranian student news agency ISNA reported on Thursday the facility was evacuated prior to the attack and there is no radiation risk. The research reactor was partially built and previously known as Arak, with Tehran informing the UN nuclear watchdog that it plans operating the facility next year. The UN's International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, reported on Tuesday that there appeared to have been direct impacts on the underground part of the facility. Tehran has consistently denied seeking to develop a nuclear weapon, but Iran had informed the IAEA about its plans to commission the reactor by 2026. The research reactor was officially intended to produce plutonium for medical research, and the site includes a production plant for heavy water. Iran on Thursday accused the UN's nuclear watchdog of acting as a partner in what it described as Israel's war of aggression. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, accused Iran in a report prior to the start of the Iran-Israel war of non-compliance with its obligations in its nuclear program. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqai wrote on X in a post addressed to the head of the agency, Rafael Grossi, said Iran betrayed the non-proliferation regime and made IAEA a partner in an unjust war of aggression. Dear viewers, for a deeper analysis, I'm delighted to interview over the phone Mr. Abdel Rahman, the journalist and the political analyst. Mr. Amr, first of all, good afternoon.
And a very good afternoon to you. Hello to you and the dear viewers. I'm truly glad to be with you today for a new episode of this conflict that we are all witnessing and expecting more and more each and every day.
Yes, of course, according to so many political analysts, it is expected to witness more rising tensions in the region. And for this, I ask you, my first question here is, how did you follow the latest updates regarding the attack on Soroka Hospital in Israel and also the attack on Arak?
I believe this comes as a part of the conflict and the bomb shelling between and the rocket shelling between Iran and the Zionist existence. Both they are trying to find his own terms, his own suitable terms by the end of the conflict, by who's gonna bomb more, who's gonna hit the other more, who is gonna have the last word on this conflict, who's gonna be the last man standing or the last power standing. And of course, both sides are suffering, and both sides are under heavy shelling and heavy bombarding at all levels. And I believe that they are both aiming to have their own final word for their own benefit. Iran, after it was, I might call it, it was as a regime, it was decapitated. The Israeli attack against Iran almost cut the head of the regime, and this is a very a brutal attack, of course. On the other hand, Iran is answering by all its powers, all the rockets power they possess against the Israeli towns. I believe that they are both aiming for ending this conflict for its own benefit, each and every side. But there are, of course, more elements, more roles, more cards to be played, more cards under the table. I believe that the main goal of that attack against Iran was eliminating the Iranian role in the Middle East and in the Arabic East.
And in this regard, Mr. Amr, let me ask you, why do you think the United States has waited until Iran reached the 60% enrichment of the uranium, since it has talked a lot about this process, and it was rejecting this process from the very beginning? So why is this timing in particular, and what cards do you think that under the table, as you have mentioned, that should be used in order for this war to be stopped?
This is a very intelligent question, and the answer from from between the words of the same question is the whole West was witnessing the progress of the nuclear program, the Iranian nuclear program, at all times, at all levels, and there were resolutions that were already reached out by the American administration with the Iranian administration and other. Despite some differences of opinions between the European side and the American side, but in the end, there was an Iranian project, a nuclear project, and it was not almost approved, but at least allowed to be progressed in limited levels, in limited horizons. Today, I believe there is a change in the equation. There is a change in the strategy, not only the tactics. There is a twist of the whole strategy, the American strategy and the Zionist strategy against Iran. I just would mention here something very important. Both Iran and the Zionist existence are both dangers to the Arab world. And of course, I believe that that change has come. That change in the American and the Western strategy against Iran, which concludes the total suppress and just trying to stop the nuclear Iranian program, because there is a new change in the arena, a new change in the Arabic East, which is the rising of the Zionist existence to a level that has never reached before. The rise of that evil power, the Zionist power, of course, occupying the lands from Gaza Strip right to our own eastern borders, all the way with its own influence to Iraq. So Iraq today is the first country in the eye of the storm, and that's why the leadership of Iraq has taken hesitating situation towards what's going on to Iran that is right next to its borders, because it's afraid. They are afraid of what's going to happen next.
Yes, but also, Mr. Amr, to talk further more about the Iranian response, the response to these Israeli operations, military operations in Iran, to what extent do you anticipate that Iran could attack the Daimuna reactor in Israel, as there has been lots of talks about this in the past few days?
I believe that despite they are trying to sell us the idea of the new giant, the Zionist giant of Israel, I believe it's not that safe or protected as if they are trying to claim. The Daimuna can be bombed, can be targeted easily. I am sure about that, because Iran has its own sources, whether from Russia, whether from China, despite the cold situation that Russia has taken towards supposed to be ally, which is Iran. But Iran has got lots of technology from Russia and from China, and if it wants, and of course this is a crucial decision to be taken to hit Daimuna reactor. Of course, that would be maybe a postponed, crucial decision to be taken. But it is on the agenda, on the Iranian agenda, if the Zionist aggression continues, of course, and threaten more and more of the nuclear Iranian program.
Yes, and also before we talk more about the Israeli response and also the Israeli reaction to Iran here, I would like to also spot the light on the Egyptian efforts in moving in the path of the negotiations and making sure that this path is not neglected by any means, as we had today at we had efforts done by the Minister of the Foreign Affairs, Dr. Badr Abdel, who had called also with his French counterpart, the Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot, and also the British National Advisor Jonathan Powell, as they have exchanged views and assessments in this regard. How do you think Egypt and also Qatar could, and also the United States, could have cards on the table to push forward in the path of negotiations so that this war could have an end very soon?
Well, I believe that both Egypt and Qatar are moved diplomatically by the threats they are facing right now. And of course, I believe that Egypt is the most important country that is both have the means to and the diplomatic ways to discuss and to put that file on the table of negotiations. But also, I believe that the Qatari regime is not helping as we expected, because it's or maybe surrounded by both Iran and the American military bases. I believe they have a very small margin to move within. In Egypt, of course, we are thinking of the threats that we are up against right now, not just as Egypt, but the whole Arabs. The whole Arabic nation is facing that phase of time that reminds me of the Crusades against the Arabic East 1,000 years ago. Today we are fighting but with what we have against a rising danger, the rising of the what we call it bigger Israel, that is falsely claimed, falsely whether with states forged in Torah or forged statements, texts from history, by claiming there is anything like bigger Israel, but on the fact, it is already being created, and we are witnessing the borders of Israel is being expanded with its own influence all the way to Euphrates. That means maybe it's forgered historically and religiously, but in reality there is a threat, and we should be united as Arabs against such threat by naming Israel with the most suitable name, which is the enemy, as at the same thing they are teaching their own children about the Arabs. They are teaching the children in the schools, in the academies, in the universities, in their own all of their generations, that occupying the Arabic land is their object and target.
Yes. And as we have talked about the Arab role and also the Egyptian role in particular as a leading role in this negotiation path and the peace path as well, it is also important to talk about the allies of Israel and Iran. We know very well that the European Union is backing Israel as well as the United States, but when it comes to Iran, who are Iran's allies? And especially if we talk about China and Russia, if we cannot call them allies, or if we can call them allies, but at least they are not rejecting the Iranian response to the Israeli military operations in Iran. So here, to what extent do you think Russia and China would have a role in stopping this war?
I believe it's too early to talk about alliance. But that doesn't mean there is no alliance. There are alliances, but they are in the shaping period. They are shaping the alliance right now, the Eastern and the Western. But today it's early to talk about alliance. Only we can concentrate on the target of the Israeli hit that is supported by the American military and the American intelligence, which is narrowing the influence of Iran, cutting the wings of Iran, even dividing Iran, changing the regime in Tehran. These are the real and the main targets of the attack against Iran. Weaken Iran, making it no more a regional power, just a country maybe divided or a weak country.
Was pointed to by many officials. Mr. Amr, is also the new concept of shaping the Middle East, reshaping it and having a new Middle East with new regimes, with new systems that could be just not a threat to Israel. This is also one of the targets. Do you agree with this?
I salute you for this. I salute you for bringing up this on air, because this is, of course, this is the total agenda. This is the main agenda that we should see it on the wall in each and every office and home in Egypt and in the Arabic world. This is the main target. Reshape the Arabic world. From 100 years ago, there was the first edition of the Sykes-Picot match, the Sykes-Picot conspiracy that has divided nations. Let me be frank with you. It was called El Sham. It was the Sham land that was divided into Syria and Lebanon and Jordan and Palestine. That was all called El Sham.
Yes.
As well as Iraq, it was called Kildan. That is the Kildan. Then they have cut those countries or these lands into small republics with borders on fire that can be ignited at any time or be divided at any time they want. And this is the time for them to complete their agenda. And we should be faced in the most firm way, using an Arabic front.
Of course, and at this point it is very important also to mention that Egypt had expected, or it had been ready a very long time ago for such rising tensions, and it had moves that were really early, all of these tensions. I would like to thank you so much, Mr. Amr Abdel Rahman, the journalist and the political analyst, for being with us today and for this deep analysis on Nile TV International. And dear viewers, we have reached the end of this special edition, but stay tuned for more updates on the top of the hour on Nile TV International, Egypt's voice to the whole world. That was Reem Tamer. Now it's time to say thank you very much.